What if the reason you're struggling to lose weight has nothing to do with willpower? What if the real problem is that you've been eating foods that keep you hungry instead of foods that naturally help your body burn fat? Because while millions of people are spending hundreds of dollars every month chasing weight loss injections, appetite suppressants, and miracle supplements, scientists have uncovered something remarkable. Certain foods naturally reduce cravings, stabilize blood sugar, support fat burning, and help you stay full for hours without feeling deprived. One food on today's list was shown to be one of the most filling foods ever tested. Another contains a special type of fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria linked to healthier body weight. And the number one food has been surrounded by controversy for decades, yet modern research suggests it may deserve far more credit than it gets. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're available in almost every grocery store. They're affordable. And they work with your biology instead of against it. Today, we're counting down 20 of the most powerful fat loss foods, ranked from surprisingly effective to absolutely game-changing. Let's begin. Number 20. Cucumbers, the hunger blocker hiding in plain sight. At first glance, cucumbers seem too simple to deserve a spot on this list. They're mostly water. They're inexpensive. And they rarely get attention from nutrition experts. But that's exactly why they're underrated. Cucumbers are about 95% water, making them one of the lowest calorie foods you can eat while still taking up significant space in your stomach. That matters because your stomach contains stretch receptors that help signal fullness to your brain. The more volume you eat, the more satisfied you feel, even when calories stay low. Many people mistake dehydration for hunger. Adding water-rich foods like cucumbers can help solve that problem before unnecessary snacking begins. Try slicing cucumbers into salads, pairing them with Greek yogurt dip, or simply eating them as a crunchy afternoon snack. They won't burn fat directly. But they make eating less feel dramatically easier. And that's where real fat loss begins. Number 19. Cabbage, the ancient weight loss secret. For thousands of years, cabbage helped entire civilizations survive long winters. Today, it may help modern people fight a different battle altogether. Excess body fat. Cabbage is incredibly low in calories while providing a surprising amount of fiber and volume. A giant bowl of cabbage slaw can fill your stomach without filling your calorie budget. But cabbage has another advantage. When fermented into sauerkraut or kimchi, it becomes rich in beneficial bacteria that support a healthier gut microbiome. Researchers are increasingly discovering that gut bacteria influence hunger hormones, inflammation levels, and even how efficiently we store fat. In other words, your gut may be playing a bigger role in your weight than you realize. Raw, cooked, or fermented, cabbage is one of the most affordable fat loss foods on the planet. Number 18. Spinach, the craving controller. Have you ever eaten a meal and still felt like something was missing? You weren't necessarily hungry. Yet somehow you still wanted more food. Spinach may help explain why. This leafy green is loaded with vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that many modern diets lack. And when your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs, cravings often become stronger. But spinach contains something especially interesting. Compounds called thylakoids. Research suggests these natural compounds may help support fullness signals while reducing cravings for sweet and highly processed foods. Combine that with high water content, fiber, and almost no calories, and spinach becomes a powerful ally for anyone trying to lose weight. Add it to smoothies. Mix it into eggs. Pile it into salads. The more volume you can create with nutrient-dense greens, the easier fat loss becomes. Number 17. Cauliflower, the calorie cutter. Here's a simple question. What if you could eat many of your favorite comfort foods while dramatically reducing their calorie content? That's exactly why cauliflower exploded in popularity. Cauliflower can transform into rice. It can become pizza crust. Mashed cauliflower can even replace traditional mashed potatoes. And every swap significantly lowers calorie density while preserving the eating experience people enjoy. This is important because most diets fail for one reason. People get tired of feeling restricted. Cauliflower helps solve that problem. You still get the familiar texture and satisfaction, but with fewer calories and more fiber. It also belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family, which includes broccoli and cabbage, vegetables consistently linked to healthier body weight and better metabolic health. The best fat loss diet isn't the one you can follow for a week. It's the one you can enjoy for years. And cauliflower helps make that possible. But the next food may be even more surprising. Because despite being one of the most common vegetables in the world, researchers discovered it can make meals dramatically more filling while adding almost no calories at all. Number 16. Broccoli, the fullness multiplier. If there were an award for the most effective vegetable for fat loss, broccoli would be a serious contender. And the reason has very little to do with calories. Broccoli is packed with fiber and water, a combination that creates one of the most powerful appetite control effects in nutrition. When food occupies more space in your stomach, stretch receptors send signals to your brain that you've eaten enough. This is why a large plate of broccoli can feel surprisingly satisfying despite containing very few calories. But broccoli offers another advantage. It contains a compound called sulforaphane, one of the most heavily studied plant compounds in nutrition science. Researchers continue exploring its potential role in supporting healthy metabolism, reducing inflammation, and improving overall metabolic function. The beauty of broccoli is that it allows you to build a massive plate of food without creating a massive calorie load. Roast it until the edges become crispy. Steam it lightly. Add it to stir fries. However you prepare it, broccoli helps you eat more while consuming less. And that's a winning combination for fat loss. Number 15. Apples, nature's appetite suppressant. There's a reason the old saying about apples has survived for generations. This humble fruit does far more than most people realize. Apples contain a special soluble fiber called pectin. Once inside your digestive system, pectin forms a gel-like substance that slows digestion and helps stabilize blood sugar. That slower digestion means longer-lasting fullness. And longer-lasting fullness means fewer cravings. In studies comparing whole apples to apple juice, researchers consistently found that whole apples kept people fuller for significantly longer. The difference wasn't the sugar. It was the fiber. There's another hidden advantage. Apples require chewing. And chewing gives your brain time to receive fullness signals before overeating happens. In today's world of ultra-processed foods that disappear in seconds, that matters more than ever. Eat apples with the skin intact whenever possible. That's where much of the fiber and beneficial plant compounds are found. Sweet, satisfying, portable, and incredibly effective, apples prove that healthy eating doesn't have to feel restrictive. Number 14. Potatoes, the most misunderstood food in weight loss. Few foods have been unfairly blamed for weight gain as much as potatoes. But here's the surprising truth. When researchers created what's known as the satiety index, a ranking system that measures how filling foods are, boiled potatoes outperformed almost every other food tested. Let that sink in. Potatoes ranked higher than many foods marketed specifically for weight loss. So what happened? The problem was never the potato. The problem was what people did to it. French fries. Potato chips. Loaded baked potatoes covered in butter, cheese, and sour cream. Those additions transformed a naturally filling food into a calorie bomb. Whole potatoes are different. They're rich in water, fiber, and resistant starch, especially when cooked and cooled before eating. Resistant starch behaves differently than regular carbohydrates. Instead of rapidly raising blood sugar, part of it bypasses digestion and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. This creates a slower energy release and often better appetite control. Boiled potatoes, roasted potatoes, or cooled potato salads can be remarkably effective fat loss foods when prepared simply. Sometimes the foods we've been told to fear are actually the foods that help us the most. Number 13. Oatmeal, the breakfast that fights back. Most breakfast foods create a problem. They spike blood sugar. Then they crash it. And that crash often triggers hunger long before lunch arrives. Oatmeal works differently. Oats contain beta-glucan, a unique soluble fiber that forms a thick gel inside your digestive tract. This slows stomach emptying and creates a prolonged feeling of fullness. Instead of a quick burst of energy followed by a crash, oatmeal delivers a slow and steady release of fuel. Research consistently shows that people who eat oats often report less hunger and lower calorie intake later in the day compared to people eating refined breakfast foods. But not all oatmeal is created equal. The closer oats are to their natural form, the better. Steel-cut oats and old-fashioned rolled oats generally provide greater satiety than highly processed instant varieties loaded with sugar. Add berries for sweetness. Add Greek yogurt for protein. Add cinnamon for flavor. And you've created a breakfast that works with your biology instead of against it. But now we're entering the top 12. And this is where things get really interesting. Because the next foods don't just help control appetite. They may actively improve the way your body handles blood sugar, stores energy, and regulates fat itself. We're officially entering the top 12. And from this point forward, the foods on this list don't just help you feel full. They help influence some of the most important biological systems involved in fat loss itself. Blood sugar control, insulin sensitivity, gut health, and long-term appetite regulation. These are the foods that make staying lean easier rather than forcing you to fight hunger every day. Number 12. Black beans, the hunger-killing carbohydrate. Most people hear the word carbohydrate and immediately think weight gain. But black beans challenge that idea completely. In fact, black beans contain one of the most powerful combinations found in any food: fiber, protein, and resistant starch all working together. This combination slows digestion dramatically. Instead of flooding your bloodstream with glucose, black beans release energy gradually over time. That means fewer energy crashes, fewer cravings, and less temptation to reach for snacks between meals. Researchers have found that resistant starch may improve insulin sensitivity and help create a more favorable metabolic environment for fat loss. But what makes black beans truly special is how satisfying they are. A relatively small serving can keep you full for hours. That's one reason traditional cultures around the world built entire meals around beans long before anyone understood the science behind them. Add them to soups. Toss them into salads. Mix them into bowls and wraps. They're inexpensive, nutrient-dense, and surprisingly powerful for controlling hunger. Number 11. Lentils, the blood sugar stabilizer. If black beans are impressive, lentils may be even more remarkable. For thousands of years, lentils have been a dietary staple across the Mediterranean, Middle East, and South Asia. And modern science now explains exactly why. Lentils are packed with soluble fiber, which slows the rate at which carbohydrates enter the bloodstream. That slower absorption creates a much smoother blood sugar response. Why does that matter? Because rapid blood sugar swings are often followed by hunger, cravings, and overeating. Stable blood sugar helps keep appetite under control naturally. Studies have shown that meals containing lentils can reduce hunger and lower calorie intake at later meals, even when total calories are matched. That's a powerful effect. Lentils also feed beneficial gut bacteria, producing compounds called short-chain fatty acids that researchers increasingly associate with better appetite regulation and metabolic health. In simple terms, lentils help your body work smarter, not harder. And that's exactly what sustainable fat loss is all about. Number 10. Chia seeds, the tiny seeds with a massive impact. Now for one of the most unique foods on this entire list. Because these tiny black seeds can absorb up to 10 times their weight in water. Think about that for a moment. You eat a small spoonful. They enter your digestive system. And they expand into a gel-like substance that physically increases fullness. This is one reason chia seeds have become so popular among people trying to lose weight. But their benefits don't stop there. Chia seeds are loaded with soluble fiber, which slows digestion and helps prevent sudden blood sugar spikes. They're also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients associated with improved metabolic health and reduced inflammation. Perhaps most importantly, chia seeds make it easier to stay satisfied between meals. A tablespoon mixed into yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie can significantly increase fullness without adding many calories. Tiny food. Huge impact. And now we're entering the top 9. The foods ahead aren't just famous in nutrition circles, they've been repeatedly studied because of their ability to influence appetite and body composition in measurable ways. Number 9. Greek yogurt, the protein-packed fat loss champion. There is a reason Greek yogurt has become a staple food among nutrition experts. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained to remove much of its liquid, concentrating the protein into a much smaller volume. The result is a food that delivers exceptional satiety for relatively few calories. And protein is one of the most powerful appetite-controlling nutrients known to science. It increases fullness hormones, reduces hunger hormones, and requires more energy for your body to digest compared to fats or carbohydrates. But Greek yogurt offers another advantage. It contains beneficial probiotic cultures that help support a healthier gut microbiome. Researchers are increasingly discovering that the bacteria living inside your digestive tract may influence hunger, metabolism, inflammation, and even body weight. Choose plain Greek yogurt whenever possible. Many flavored versions contain surprisingly large amounts of added sugar. Add fresh berries. Sprinkle in chia seeds. Or enjoy it on its own. Either way, Greek yogurt is one of the most efficient fat loss foods available. And the next food may surprise you, because despite being one of the highest fat foods on this entire list, research suggests people who eat it regularly often struggle less with hunger and may even maintain healthier body weights over time. Number 8. Avocado, the fat that helps you eat less. For years, people trying to lose weight avoided avocados for one simple reason. They contain a lot of fat. And for decades, fat was blamed for making people fat. But modern nutrition science has largely turned that belief upside down. Avocados are rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, the same type of fats found in olive oil, one of the cornerstones of the Mediterranean diet. These fats slow digestion and help create a lasting feeling of satisfaction after meals. In fact, research has shown that adding avocado to a meal can increase fullness and reduce the desire to eat for several hours afterward. But that's only part of the story. Avocados also contain fiber, creating a powerful combination that attacks hunger from multiple angles. The healthy fats slow digestion. The fiber slows blood sugar absorption. Together, they help prevent the energy crashes that often trigger cravings later in the day. And despite their higher calorie content, studies consistently find that people who regularly consume avocados tend to have healthier body weights and better metabolic health markers. Sometimes the foods we're taught to fear become the foods that help us most. Number 7. Eggs, nature's appetite reset button. If there were a hall of fame for fat loss foods, eggs would deserve a permanent place inside it. For thousands of years, eggs have fueled farmers, hunters, athletes, and laborers because they provide something incredibly valuable. Complete protein. Every essential amino acid your body needs is packed into a remarkably compact package. And that protein triggers a chain reaction inside your body. Fullness hormones rise. Hunger hormones decline. And cravings often become much easier to manage. In one famous study, people who started their day with eggs reported feeling fuller and naturally consumed fewer calories later compared to those eating a calorie-matched bagel breakfast. The difference wasn't willpower. It was biology. Eggs also contain choline, a nutrient involved in fat metabolism and liver health. And because they're affordable, versatile, and easy to prepare, they remain one of the most practical fat loss foods available. Boiled. Poached. Scrambled. Omelets. However you enjoy them, eggs help set the stage for better appetite control throughout the day. Number 6. Cottage cheese, the overnight fat loss secret. Most people completely overlook cottage cheese. And that's a mistake. Because cottage cheese contains one of the most unique proteins in nutrition. Casein. Unlike many proteins that digest quickly, casein breaks down slowly, releasing amino acids into the bloodstream over several hours. This prolonged digestion creates sustained fullness and provides your body with a steady supply of protein long after you've finished eating. That's why cottage cheese has become a favorite among athletes and body composition experts. Research suggests consuming casein-rich foods before bed may support overnight muscle maintenance while helping control hunger. And preserving muscle is critical. Because the more muscle you maintain while losing weight, the more calories your body naturally burns. Cottage cheese also delivers impressive amounts of protein for relatively few calories. Blend it into smoothies. Pair it with berries. Or enjoy it as a simple evening snack. It's one of the most underrated foods for supporting long-term fat loss. Number 5. Salmon, the fish that changes the fat-burning equation. Now we're entering the elite tier. And salmon earns its place because it works through multiple fat loss pathways simultaneously. First, salmon is loaded with high-quality protein. The kind that helps preserve lean muscle and keeps hunger under control. But what truly separates salmon from many other protein sources is its omega-3 fatty acid content. Omega-3s have been extensively studied for their role in improving insulin sensitivity, reducing inflammation, and supporting healthy metabolism. Some research even suggests they may influence the way fat cells behave, making your body more efficient at using stored fat for energy. And then there's the satiety factor. The combination of protein and healthy fats makes salmon incredibly satisfying. Many people find they stay full significantly longer after eating salmon compared to leaner protein sources alone. This is why populations with high fish consumption often show remarkably strong metabolic health. Wild-caught or farm-raised, grilled or baked, salmon remains one of the most powerful foods you can put on your plate when fat loss is the goal. And now we're entering the final 4. These foods aren't just popular. They're backed by some of the most impressive research in the entire world of nutrition. The next one is so effective at controlling hunger that many people are shocked it isn't discussed more often. Number 4. Tuna, the ultimate protein bargain. If fat loss came down to getting the most hunger-crushing protein for the fewest calories possible, tuna would be difficult to beat. A single serving delivers an enormous amount of complete protein while remaining remarkably low in calories. And that's a powerful combination. Because protein doesn't just help build muscle. It directly influences the hormones that control hunger. When you eat enough protein, your body increases satiety signals and reduces the drive to keep searching for more food. That's one reason high-protein diets consistently outperform low-protein diets for long-term fat loss. But tuna offers another advantage. Convenience. No cooking. No preparation. No excuses. A can of tuna can instantly transform a simple salad into a filling meal capable of keeping hunger under control for hours. For busy people trying to lose weight, convenience is often the difference between success and failure. And tuna makes healthy choices incredibly easy. Number 3. Berries, the sweet tooth solution. Most people trying to lose weight eventually run into the same problem. Cravings. Not hunger. Cravings. That intense desire for something sweet. Something satisfying. Something that feels like a reward. This is where berries become almost magical. Strawberries. Blueberries. Blackberries. Raspberries. They deliver natural sweetness while containing significantly less sugar than most fruits. At the same time, they're packed with fiber. That fiber slows sugar absorption, helping prevent the blood sugar roller coaster that often triggers even more cravings. But berries have another secret weapon. They contain powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. These compounds give berries their deep colors and have been associated with improved insulin sensitivity and healthier metabolic function. In simple terms, berries satisfy your sweet tooth while helping your body manage energy more effectively. Very few foods can make that claim. Add them to Greek yogurt. Mix them into oatmeal. Or enjoy them by the handful. They're one of nature's smartest desserts. Number 2. Edamame, the hunger control powerhouse. Most people walk right past this food in the grocery store without realizing it may be one of the most effective fat loss foods available. Edamame, which are young green soybeans harvested before fully maturing, deliver a rare combination that nutrition researchers love: high protein and high fiber in the same food. Most foods give you one or the other. Edamame gives you both. This combination creates a powerful satiety effect. Protein helps stimulate hormones that tell your brain you've eaten enough, while fiber slows digestion and helps keep blood sugar stable for hours after a meal. Together, they create a steady release of energy that helps prevent the hunger spikes and cravings that often sabotage weight loss efforts. Research consistently shows that meals rich in both protein and fiber lead to greater fullness and lower calorie intake later in the day. In other words, when you eat foods like edamame, you naturally feel satisfied with less food. Edamame is also rich in magnesium, folate, potassium, and plant compounds called isoflavones that have been studied for their role in supporting metabolic health. Unlike highly processed snack foods that encourage overeating, edamame requires chewing, slows eating speed, and gives your body's natural fullness signals time to catch up. Another advantage is calorie efficiency. A generous bowl feels substantial and satisfying while providing far fewer calories than most processed snacks with the same level of fullness. Enjoy edamame lightly steamed with a pinch of sea salt, toss it into salads, add it to grain bowls, or serve it alongside lean protein and vegetables. It is simple, affordable, nutrient-dense, and one of the most underrated foods for controlling hunger and supporting sustainable fat loss. Number 1, grapefruit, the fruit that refused to lose its reputation. For decades, grapefruit has been surrounded by controversy. Some called it a miracle food. Others dismissed it as pure myth. But when researchers finally put grapefruit under serious scientific investigation, something interesting happened. The results weren't entirely fiction. Several studies found that consuming grapefruit before meals was associated with greater weight loss and improved markers of insulin sensitivity compared with control groups. Now, grapefruit isn't magic. No food is. But it combines several powerful fat loss advantages in one package. It's rich in water. Contains fiber. Provides a refreshing sweetness for relatively few calories. And naturally slows down eating because it takes time to peel, segment, and enjoy. That extra time allows fullness signals to reach your brain before overeating occurs. It's a small advantage. But small advantages repeated daily create big results. One important note. Grapefruit can interact with certain medications. If you're taking prescription drugs, speak with your healthcare provider before making grapefruit a regular habit. For everyone else, it remains one of the most fascinating and potentially effective fruits for supporting fat loss. The real secret nobody talks about. Now here's the truth that most weight loss videos never tell you. None of these foods are powerful because they magically burn fat. They're powerful because they help solve the real problem. Hunger. Cravings. Blood sugar swings. And constant overeating. The people who succeed at fat loss aren't usually the people with the strongest willpower. They're the people who create an environment where willpower is needed less often. And that's exactly what these foods do. Think about it. A breakfast of eggs and berries. A lunch built around tuna, spinach, and black beans. A dinner of salmon, broccoli, and roasted potatoes. Every meal combines protein, fiber, volume, and nutrients. The exact combination that modern research consistently associates with better appetite control and healthier body composition. No detoxes. No starvation. No expensive injections. No miracle supplements. Just real food working with your biology instead of against it. So here's my challenge for you. Don't try to add all 20 foods at once. Choose 3. Start this week. Pay attention to your hunger levels. Notice your energy. Watch what happens to your cravings. Because sustainable fat loss isn't built through extreme diets. It's built through small choices repeated consistently. And those small choices can completely change your future. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more evidence-based nutrition and wellness content every week. And now I want to hear from you. Which food surprised you the most? Was it potatoes? Grapefruit? Or maybe the fact that some of the simplest foods in your kitchen are actually some of the most powerful? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And remember, the most powerful fat loss tool isn't hiding in a bottle. It's waiting on your plate.